This is episode 6 with Caitlin McCall. Welcome to the Eco-Conscious Diver Show. I'm your host, Caitlin, PADI scuba instructor, scientific diver, and science communications specialist. I'm here to remind you that being eco-conscious is cool. Learning about the environment can be fun, and climate change isn't a dirty phrase. Each week, I'll be getting up close and personal with thought leaders from around the globe as your weekly dose of motivation so that you can create epic change in your own life and become the best version of yourself possible. Are you ready to dive? What's up, everybody? If you're listening to this right now, this is an opportunity to join in with the eco-conscious diver community and use our passion to create a more sustainable blue planet. Eco-Conscious Diver is a lifestyle brand and podcast, illuminating our paths to eco-conscious diving, overall sustainability, and a healthy planet for future generations. Head over to the website www.eco-consciousdiver.com for all podcast episodes, other resources, and the Eco Dive shop. This episode is packed with insight into how we can learn to be more eco-conscious, not only while we're diving, but also in our everyday lives. I hope you'll enjoy this podcast with Sarah Richard, founder of A Waste-Free World and Girls That Scuba. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. How are you over there?
Good. So we're going to start with the intro question, which is, what are you loving in conservation and diving right now?
Great question. I mean, obviously right now it feels like a million years ago that we were even diving, it's crazy, right? But I think something I was really enjoying, this year is kind of how simple and easy people were taking to clean up dives and stuff, with a lot more of these companies that have been bringing out the trash bags and stuff like that. It feels like now every diver is they are kind of programmed to pick up rubbish on a dive, which is so good, because even last year I remember being why didn't you pick up that piece of trash, to a diver or something? Whereas I feel like now, in diving, it's just a no-brainer. Everyone does it. So maybe that's not so huge conservation, but it's those small steps which I think will start making a big difference, which seems to be really happening in diving at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of that make every dive a cleanup dive thing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and you don't have to remind people so much anymore. They kind of just do it. So It's a great trend, I guess, to see.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think it's the same thing with picking up trash, because the more other people see people doing it, they kind of catch on too. I was diving with my aunt and uncle who started diving recently, and I saw this huge fishing net. And so I was trying to pull it out and all this stuff. And afterwards, they were just shocked and amazed. They were like, wow, that was this whole big thing,
Yeah, no, this is normal. We do this every dive.
Right. All right. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce Sarah to you guys. Sarah Richard is the founder of Girls That Scuba, which is a worldwide network of women in diving. And she also has her newest venture, which we're here to speak about today. It's called A Waste-Free World, and this is a plastic-free online shop. So Sarah, if you could just give us a little bit of a background of how you started Girls That Scuba and then how it transitioned into A Waste-Free World.
Yeah, sure. So I started Girls That Scuba 3 years ago now, when I kind of just saw a little gap in the industry for kind of empowering and raising up female divers. There seemed to not be a platform there, or if there was, it wasn't really one that was actually being seen to kind of just be hey, look at this super cool girl who's doing something amazing in the ocean, or just even to kind of be hey, I would love to dive with some more girls. So I kind of created Girls That Scuba to create a space for women in diving, whether that was to connect, to raise others up, to ask questions, really as simple as that. So it's a beautiful community. It's an amazing, amazing community full of women from all around the world. And something that kind of came from that, from Girls That Scuba and all of these conversations, more and more conversations we were seeing were about conservation and mainly about like plastic in the ocean, because I think that the whole world has become more aware of plastic in the ocean more than ever now, and divers are even more hyper aware of it. And, you know, some of the girls were like, okay, so look, we keep seeing all this plastic in the ocean, but what can we do about it? You know, and we really saw kind of like this demand of women wanting to actually make a difference, but not really understanding like ways they could. So I started a Waste Free World as a community to go alongside Girls That Scuba. Like another reason was so we could keep concentrating on scuba diving in Girls That Scuba and not turn it into a completely like conservation page, because we want to continue doing what we're doing with scuba diving and empowering women. So kind of a Waste Free World was born to balance it out and to have a new space to kind of talk about plastic in the ocean. And it then developed into a shop where you kind of got like a one-stop shop to get all of these like everyday products, which are usually plastic, in an alternate way, which would be plastic free.
Yeah.
So what a story of how it all happened.
Awesome. And I know that you've got worldwide shipping, so you guys can get it anywhere in the world. One thing I've noticed in my own kind of eco journey is just that it seems kind of overwhelming when you first start, right? You're like, oh my God, once you realize it, you're looking around your house and you're like, holy cow, everything I have is plastic, you know, what am I going to do? And so I really like that the website, A Waste Free World, has it set up by the areas of your home.
Yeah.
And so it's like bathroom, kitchen, you know, your travel stuff. And then there's also a whole section just for scuba divers, which is really cool as well. And I think that makes it not as overwhelming, you know?
Yeah. I think that a lot of people, like, as you said, are kind of like, where do we even start? And it's sometimes easier not to start than it is to start. So I just wanted to make it like super simple and just be like, start with a bamboo toothbrush, you know, or start with a shampoo bar. And it doesn't need to be like, you don't need to look into your house and be like, I need to change it all. You just need to start the process and become more aware.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of have done a thing where every month I'm doing one swap.
That's a good idea.
And that way it's a little easier on my wallet and it's not so much to take on. So, you know, I'm now probably a year and a half into it and most of my stuff is kind of swapped at this point. My kitchen could still use some work, but it's, you know, it's all the little things that you do that add up, I think.
Absolutely.
So what are the top 3 swaps that you think are the easiest first things for people to do?
I think bamboo toothbrush, going straight away, like I said before. You know, we should be changing our toothbrushes like every few months. And they are like this really hard, horrible plastic. All plastic's horrible, but this plastic is like super, super rock hard. And, you know, it does not break down. I mean, there actually have been some photos of a plastic toothbrush embedded in coral, in like dead coral. And, you know, you've got to think about how many years that's been there. So bamboo toothbrushes are a great, great swap, and they're affordable as well. So you're not like breaking the bank straight away. Another great swap is like hair products. So like shampoo and conditioner. Because not only are a lot of hair products just, again, plastic bottles, a lot of them are not even reef safe. A lot of them have like terrible ingredients in them that are actually harming our oceans and our waterways as well. So this is always an amazing swap. If you swap to a sustainable shampoo bar, one that's not made of plastic, that's a great swap. And another great swap and a very easy one is makeup wipes. Which is also kind of like any kind of like wipe. If you even just kind of like wash your face, if you could take your makeup off, your eye makeup, you know, it's kind of the real single use, when you're just using one to like wipe one eye, one to wipe another eye, one to wipe your lips. And actually quite a lot of the kind of wipes that we buy in the superstores do actually contain a very thin layer of plastic kind of material inside of them. And if you do flush them down the toilet, they don't like biodegrade. So again, you can literally, like, on a wasteful world, I think they're like $20, and you put them in the washing machine and you just continue to reuse them, and if you don't lose them, you can have them for life.
Wow, that's so awesome. And you think about too, over time, like how much money do you spend buying those wipes over and over?
I know.
Yeah. Just real quick plug on that shampoo and body wash and leave-in conditioner. They do have the Stream to See shampoo and body wash and leave-in on the website, and all of that stuff, the actual product inside has been tested and proven safe for reefs, freshwater fish, saltwater fish, and for you. So there's my little Stream to See plug.
It's great though. Like, I really enjoy it, because a majority to begin with, the Waste-Free World, of our customers and kind of followers were scuba divers, because obviously it naturally came over from Girls That Scuba. But now we're kind of opening up to like more people and reaching more people. Not only do we get to teach them about the plastic, but with these Stream to See products, we get to teach them about, like, actually not everything is reef safe, and not everything is safe to the water, and a lot of people just do not know that. As scuba divers, we're aware, we are educated on it because we do that ourselves, but many people, if you're not like a real ocean person, aren't aware of it. So it's great to be able to offer those products as well, to just offer more education.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it does come down to education. I'm from Texas, from a small city in North Texas. And, I didn't even know about any of this stuff until I moved down to Austin, which is a little more into it. They outlawed plastic bags, but otherwise, I hadn't heard about any of this really until I moved to Australia. And then in Florida, they're all about it too.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to me, a lot of my friends from Texas still, when I'm posting about this stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, I never even knew about this stuff,
Yeah, people don't. And we all have to learn some way, and we all found out ourselves at once. And this is why kind of any kind of mediums like this, like podcasts and social media, are great, because, one person might be listening that knows, but another person might not be. And, that's kind of like all of our jobs as influencers or as brand representatives or owners, to keep spreading that message. And I don't know about you, but I don't ever get bored of telling people. I'm like super excited when I tell someone.
Yeah, and also just to see people that kind of click on, they're like, wow, I had no idea, it's
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
cool. So a couple of things that I've also swapped, just that we didn't touch on, that I thought were big for me, was the safety razor.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, and I don't have to shave my legs as often.
Yeah, it's such a close shave. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorites. And then men, you can close your ears for a second. The menstrual cups.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they are an amazing swap. But a lot again comes down to education, that many women are not actually too aware of it, how it works. And because it's completely different from what we've been brought up with as young girls, what menstrual products are. Mm-hmm. But it's an absolutely incredible swap. Again, it's one of those things, I think you only need one every 10 years. And again, you save so much money from buying tampons, which is so expensive.
Yeah. So, and for diving, they are awesome.
Yes.
Like, you literally don't have to worry about anything. I love that.
I think that they're like so great for liverboards, because when you're diving like multiple times a day, like 3 times a day, and if you're on your periods and you don't want to get out your wetsuit, it's like the most frustrating thing. You're like, I've got a 1 hour surface interval. I do not want to get out my wetsuit, but if I have to because I need to go and like change my tampon, like that doesn't have to happen with the moon cups. And that's why I'm like hero in them, like always in Girls That Scuba.
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm always like, every time I make a new girlfriend, that's like one of the first things I bring up. They're probably like, this girl's so weird. What's it?
I know, I'm exactly the same.
So one more period product I want to bring up because I think it's so funny that I saw on your website is they have period pads that have Trump's face on them.
Yes.
And
I
it's
know.
awesome.
Yeah. Some people love them, some people hate them, but whatever.
Well, same thing with Trump. So
Exactly.
yeah, and another thing I'm really interested in this, and this probably is going to be my next eco swap now that I've seen them, is the bamboo unsponges that you have. So they're sponges for really anything cleaning wise, and they have a whale print that's really cute. And I think those as well you can like throw in the washing machine and just reuse.
Yeah. Literally. So the problem with kind of some kitchen sponges, I'm not too sure if you guys get them in the US, but I think you do. They're like these like big, like yellow sponges with like almost like blue underneath. And they're actually all made of like microfibers and kind of like microplastics. And the problem with those sponges is every time you use them, like their tiny little bits fall off and directly into the sink, which goes directly into, our water system. So you are literally putting plastic down your sink. And I only found this out about just probably over a couple of years ago. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like, why am I using these sponges which are putting plastic in the sink? So, when A Waste Free World came around and I researched alternatives, there's these great bamboo ones. And obviously they contain no plastic, but another good thing is they're home compostable. So if you do have a home compost, you can literally just put it in there and they will actually biodegrade compost completely by themselves. So not only is it plastic free, it's waste free as well.
Wow. And do you have a compost at home?
Well, where I am now, yeah, we do, because I'm at my boyfriend's parents' house and they live in the country. So yeah, we have a compost at home. But I wouldn't myself, like in like a little city house or something like that. But another good thing is you don't even have to home compost them anyway because they're biodegradable.
Yeah, so you can just,
just discard them. Like you're going to throw away that plastic sponge anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing, sorry, I love all this stuff on the website. They have a really awesome resource that is a plastic packaging complaint email template. So you see, different companies that, are sending things that are just completely wrapped in plastic. You can actually just head over to that resource, copy it, change it up for your needs and use that, which is pretty awesome.
It's just something I wrote myself actually because I would get so annoyed when I would order stuff online and it would all come wrapped in plastic and it seemed so unnecessary. So I just kind of thought well, I may as well share this template so anyone else can use it as well. So yeah, just if you ever receive plastic, just email the company. And the more emails they get, the more they will be encouraged to actually make a change.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, obviously we are in the middle of a global pandemic, and we're asking everyone, to support small businesses. So I do, want to encourage everybody to try to shop small right now. A Waste Free World is a small business, as is Girls That Scuba. So that's part of why I wanted to have Sarah on the show today, is just to, bring that to the forefront. Do you have anything that you want to share about just kind of the struggles during the pandemic for your small businesses at this time?
Yeah, I mean, it is, I actually saw a fact today that online shopping is up by 41%, which is a crazy amount to increase online shopping, especially in the 21st century. Unfortunately for our small businesses, that doesn't actually apply because, especially for A Waste Free World, are people are they still wanting to be eco-conscious, eco-friendly at this time? I'm not sure. I can't answer that for everyone. B, eco-friendly plastic-free products initially are more expensive. They actually work out cheaper in the long run, but that initial investment, for instance, let's say the reusable razor, it's £20, so $25 to buy. Maybe the reusable ones are $5, but you can have it for a lifetime. But, are people willing to kind of make that extra little bit of investment? But that again, like, I'm not sure. But the hardest thing for us is if you are being eco-conscious, you are being eco-friendly, you're prepared to make that investment, and you're like, right, I'm going to go and get my reusable razor. You type in reusable razor, boom, Amazon comes up. You know, and then if Amazon doesn't come up, the next one does, the next one does. And it's so hard for these small businesses that to actually even be ranked on a search engine, to actually even be found. So that's the really, really tough thing. And to make the decision to, you know, not shop in these massive, massive companies and be like, no, actually, I remember that shop that I heard on the podcast. Like, we should go and look for that. But again, we're so used to very fast buy-in now, you know, like, oh, I need this, type it in and you find it, and you don't even think, oh, damn, I should have done that small, I should have stopped small. But now we have more time to think about it. So
we definitely do. We have more time for everything.
yeah. But it's a struggle for small businesses. It really, really is. There's no doubt in that.
I'd say, you know, probably the way that I've kept myself reminded to maybe shop small is just to make sure and like and follow the pages and the Instagram, you know, of these different stores that I like. That way, when I'm looking at my feed, I'm seeing the new stuff that they have. It's reminding me of them, you know?
Exactly. And even if, like, you can't afford to buy it this time, or, you know, you're not even looking for anything, you're just sharing it. And, you know, you never know, like, if you just share a post, like, one person can be like, hey, I was looking for that, and I'm so glad that you shared it. So it's always just great to support. And I really feel like now through this pandemic, once we get over it, it will really change people's minds about small businesses, because a lot of small businesses are going to actually go under during this time. And those that do survive will have survived because of their loyal kind of customers and followings. And I think as customers and consumers, we will become more aware of that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know, we've got to be really conscious right now, because I'm already having friends, you know, post updates that say things like, oh, my favorite local restaurant has closed.
Yeah.
There's places that are closing every day, and it's up to us to support them with our, you know, with our dollar.
Yeah. It's more thinking about where your money goes. I think just taking a second before you press buy to think, oh, is this the most sustainable? Is this the best choice? Who am I supporting?
Yeah, and really we have power that way as consumers. You know, we can vote that way about what we want the future to look like based on how we spend our money.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's great. I mean, I hope that we can raise awareness to that issue as well. More people that know about these small businesses. I think actually some of us who run small businesses don't do ourselves a favor, because we try to make out that we're doing better than we are, or we try to show there's like more of a team. Like, we use this royal we, you know, like, we do this, and sometimes it's just I, you know, sometimes it is just like one person. So I think as small business owners, like, we shouldn't be afraid also to kind of reach out to people and be like, hey, we're struggling, and like, we would love it if you supported us.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I see that as well working with Stream to See. I think because we have such a robust website, and I think, you know, your websites as well are very well done. And so people might assume that it's not a small business just because it's so great online.
And because the followers, this is what gets us, because we have so many followers. You know, our network in Girls That Scuba is 700,000, but I can definitely assure you that not even 10% of those people are shopping at Always Free, and not even 1% actually. You know, so followers don't mean so much. It's really just helping people understand that, like, you're making the right decision by shopping small. And if you are shopping in an eco-friendly business, an eco-conscious business, you're also helping the planet as well. But there will still be people that still make the decision to shop on larger shops, and that's fine. You can't win them all.
Yeah. But again, it's the education, right? Yeah. And you know, just to bring this back around, you know, if you don't have money right now to shop, in general, one of the best ways that you can help small businesses is just to share and like all of their posts. Yes. Because you think about, you know, each person probably has 2,000 friends. So if you share their posts to your network, you're helping them substantially.
Yes. Very
so
true.
that's a really easy way to help small businesses.
Mhm.
So have you done any eco-conscious projects while you've been in quarantine?
Well, I feel like my life is an eco-conscious project. Like I'm always trying like to be very aware of my like consumption, my consuming and everything like that. So instead, like almost like bringing stuff back to life or giving it a facelift or something. I mean, like while we've been in lockdown, I've been like doing like a lot of like painting on like plant pots, because like the pots come in these like terracotta like pots. They're a little bit like old and battered and they get like soil, so I just like cleaned them all off and I painted them all white, and then I put like blue ocean waves on them.
Oh, that's so cute.
So happy because I feel like I have like a new like ornament in my home and a new plant, and then it's got like the ocean on it as well, and like just like remaking things and just trying to like, if you think something's old and you want it new, like maybe just change it up. Like you can even do it with t-shirts. Like if you don't like this t-shirt anymore, just cut it up, like make it into like a small t-shirt or crop top, or you can even make t-shirts into bags.
No, it's so funny you say that, because that was literally one of my projects that I did this week. I went through my whole closet. Of course, I think everyone's doing that right now. But I realized that I'm not wearing any of my t-shirts that I've gotten from events or volunteering or anything, just because I don't really like long t-shirts.
Yeah.
Because I have like a short torso. I don't know. So I was like, I just never wear these. But of course, they're not really something that you can easily give away, or
No.
so I just like cut a big chunk out of all the bottom of them, and now I'm like, oh my god, I'm loving them. I'm like using them out.
So cool. And if you just YouTube like DIY t-shirts, you can see like so many patterns. You can give them like a frill, and like you can just do everything. Just keep yourself busy by like DIY anything. Just like on YouTube, you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, and it's crafting. It's like being crafty is kind of good for the soul, right?
It's very good for your mental health, definitely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, do you have anything upcoming that you want to tell the audience about, to look out for, that you're excited about?
Well, I mean, we did have lots upcoming, but now some things have changed. But the good thing that has given me more time is to work more on the website. So we're actually doing like a little mini redesign on A Waste Free World, the website, which should hopefully be live next week. And just to make it kind of a little bit like slicker and cleaner. It's again something I've been really enjoying is trying to like figure out all the website stuff, like work that out. Web developers are quite expensive, so it's a cost that at the moment I can kind of try and get rid of and learn myself. So yeah, I'm doing like a little website relaunch, just freshen things up a bit. So that's really exciting. We're still getting new products in slowly. We don't kind of like get new products in every single week. But we just try to research a lot of the new products, and there's some great new products coming out, like just in the retail market. A lot more companies are being a lot more plastic free and conscious. So yeah, hopefully doing a lot of like trials, and hopefully more products will be on the website soon.
That's awesome. So I know I've seen a lot of people talking about that you can still purchase upcoming travel. Are you still allowing people to purchase upcoming travel with Girls That Scuba?
No, not at the moment. I think that I take our influence and our network very seriously. And as the World Health Organization has advised everyone not to travel, like we're going to go with the advice that we've been given. So at the moment, we're not promoting travel. We do have trips like that are like going this year. We haven't been told that they're cancelled, but we're not promoting new ones. But as soon as the World Health Organization advises people that it's safe to travel again, then of course we're going to be releasing loads more trips and continuing doing what we're doing and traveling the world, and making women like more empowered with scuba diving and more eco-conscious and everything. So fingers crossed that can happen soon, but who knows?
Yeah, so I guess the best way to support Girls That Scuba at this point is to shop in the online store. I do have a really cute pink buff that I got from there. I was at the grocery store.
Cute. Your photo, you look so cute in it. Yeah, we have a little shop on Girls That Scuba, like that we sell like merchandise, and again, everything we sell, like we package and post plastic free and everything like that. It's the same values as a waste free world. So yeah, just take a look at that. But again, like support wise, I think it's just being there, like stuff like listening to these kind of podcasts. Like if people put something else out, you listen, you share, you know, you kind of like become a loyal supporter. And sometimes there is nothing that we can do, but I think that when this is all over, then that kind of loyalty, that will definitely be rewarded.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Sarah and I both have on our sterling silver Girls That Scuba necklaces right now. I've got a little fin and she's got a tank on. So that's something that you guys can wear all the time, even when you're not able to scuba dive, to kind of show that you're a diver. I love mine. So is there anything you want to shout out for them to follow and visit?
Well, I think we've already said loads. So yeah, I would be happy if, you know, anybody kind of just even takes a look at anything we're doing. But at this time, I actually really want to encourage people to help support the whole scuba diving industry. Definitely not just us, just to really, you know, not to cancel, to reschedule, to buy from these small businesses and scuba diving, to continue supporting however your local dive centre is putting out e-courses or anything like that. I think that it's very, very tough on the scuba dive industry, and we all need to come together and, you know, really, really continue to help each other. So any way that you can support the scuba dive industry helps us all, helps all of us.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you guys, I am going to link the Waste Free World website and also the Girls That Scuba website below, and all the things that you can follow to help support there. So I think that's it. I'm so excited to see what you come up with next. You just keep doing awesome things for our industry. And I know I appreciate all the support Girls That Scuba has given me as well. So I look forward to speaking with you again. And I guess
so much. Yeah. Great work on the podcast. I hope lots of people are listening and learning from you and from all your guests. It's a very good thing that we can do again for the industry. So keep it going.
Thank you so much. All right. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Speak soon.
I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast and learned some valuable information about the journey of conservation. This is a constant process of learning, growth, and understanding, so I look forward to chatting with Sarah again. Please leave a review if you can, and go to www.eco-consciousdiver.com to check out the other podcast and all the other things we've got going on there. See you next week.